Hey, thanks for checking out this build with us today. This is Afterburn. It's a Magicka Dragonite healer. This is our stats, unbuffed by any skill, any potion. We are running a Breton as our race, so we have a pretty decent recovery off the start. Our Magicka with this build is 35, almost 36,000. Our health is 27,000. This is pointless. I just haven't got it removed. We're using the ritual. We'll probably change this up to maybe the recovery one, or I guess recovery or max magicka. I don't know why these are showing right now. Max health. We are running the Solitude Salmon Soup. It gives a ton of health and a ton of magicka. For gear right now, we're mainly running Spell Power Cure, Hollow Fang, cause this one gives extra damage. This one gives extra resources and healing, and then Magma Incarnate, it gives extra damage and resistance. So really, we're trying to lower the amount of damage our guys take and increase the amount of damage they do, while also dropping heals, resources, and helping out any way we can with that. Some of the other sets we can run is Martial Knowledge. I like to run it and Spell Power Cure sometimes if our group is very good at sustaining and such, because it's just a ton of damage you're dropping. Another couple sets are Worm Cult if you're Magicka group, but I do think Hollow Fang, I think someone did some testing and it showed up ending up being better to have Hollow Fang on. Sanctuary is pretty decent if your crew is taking too much damage, but it should be super easy to keep enough healing on them. Twilight Remedy is really good. It gives, especially for like trials and such, if you have a bunch of people who can't for some reason get minor force, you can run this and the uptime is very nice. Every time they use the synergy, which in a trial in particular is constant, they'll get a big chunky heal over time, and they'll also get 10% more critical damage. We used to use Olarime's until they buffed Spell Power Cure. Does the same thing, except it's in one area. When Spell Power Cure, it's just as long as they're getting overhealed. Winter's Respite, that's just like a starter set. If you put to get going, maybe even before you even hit CP, you could run this if you could find some. Monster set, we're running Magma Incarnate, like I said earlier, for the damage, but if your team's having resource problems, Symphony of Blades is excellent. And when you first get started, you could run Chokethorn or Night Flame because they just help with healing a whole bunch. Especially Night Flame, it is pretty useful. So that's that. So then let's go to skills. On our front bar, we have our burst heal, Obsidian Shard. It'll either heal you for a big chunk or 2 allies for a big chunk. The only downfall to this burst heal is you have to use the skill has to hit the enemy, and then it'll trigger the heal. So it's a slight delay, but it's still just massive. Radiant Regeneration. This is just a good heal over time, 10 seconds. Pop it and forget it. Combat Prayer gives extra damage and resistance to your teammates. Also, this is a good spammable if it's in a big damage phase. Drop all your HOTS and AoE heals and then just spam this. Then we have another AoE heal, and it's just another big heal over time. Almost 2,000 a second for 12 seconds. Energy Orb is a very good heal over time, but it also gives a ton of resources back when teammates energize it. Gives them a big, massive heal, burst heal, and then almost 4,000 Magicka stamina. Then on the front bar, we run Magma Shell. If your tank goes down, this is pretty much the only time I use this, unless it's a big damage phase that I know is coming. I sometimes pop it instead of our back bar ultimate. But it gives your teammates that are close a 100% health bar shield. And then it also lowers any damage you can take by 2-3 seconds. So if you get aggro when your tank goes down, you can pop this and hold the aggro for 12 seconds, which is plenty of time for your DPS to get the tank up and let him get some resources up before he takes aggro back. On the back bar, we use Blockade of Storms to just add a little bit of damage, but it also can knock the enemy off balance, which is the main reason for using the lightning staff. Cinder Storm is a AoE heal. It heals for 2100 every second, and it lasts 18 seconds. This is a very long AoE heal. It also slows enemies to 70%. Ellie Drain, Elemental Drain. This will lower the enemy's physical and spell resistance, which your tank probably is already doing. But it will also add minor mag steal. So every time you or an ally hits them, you'll gain a little bit of magicka back, which is super nice. Fragmented Shield is what makes a Dragonite so amazing at healing, in my opinion. You keep this up as much as you can. The skill alone lasts 8 seconds, but the part you need lasts 6 seconds. Gives you major mending, which increases your healing done by 16%, which is truly huge. Then Cauterize. This thing, just having it slotted, increases your spell and weapon critical, but it also does a rend. It'll heal a teammate without you have to trigger it every 15 seconds, and it'll heal one every 5 seconds with a pretty big chunky heal, almost 6,000. And then we use Warhorn for most of the time. We'll use Aggressive Warhorn once we unlock it. It just gives extra magicka and stamina for 28 seconds, so your DPS are doing a ton more damage. There's a few other skills. You can see the passives we have. We don't have any in there. We only have this for the block mitigation and this for physical and spell resistance. We took all of them in Earthen Heart. Battle Roar is one of the most amazing passives in this whole game, in my opinion. It just gives you a ton of resources for using your ultimate. So not only do you get a reward for using your ultimate, but then you have a skill that rewards you again for using your ultimate. Destro Staff, main thing we need from it is Elemental Force to apply status effects. Restoration, take them all. Let's see. This is super nice. You'll never run out of magicka. And you also, if you do a heavy attack with your resto, that's another way to get major mending, but you pretty much keep it up with the your shield, fragmented shield. Take all the light passives. I haven't even ran medium on this guy, but I take every heavy passive there is. Undaunted, you want to take both passives. This one gives you more resources to begin with. This one gives you more stuff back from synergies. Breton, we take all the Breton skills, and Alchemy, we take all the medicinal use. If you're having trouble sustaining, which is possible, you could switch over to Witch Mother's Potent Brew. Between the Potent Brew and your potion on your main bar, you're going to have 2400 magicka recovery. And you can also switch out your Mundus Stone to the one that gives you magicka recovery instead of healing. So you'd be pushing close to 3000 magicka recovery, which is plenty. Like, you'll never run out of magicka. But Anyways, I hope you liked this build video. It's my first one. I'm hoping to get more. I don't really make meta builds, so my next one will probably either be a Sword Healer or a Nightblade Healer. If you have any questions or comments about this build, let me know. If you have any suggestions about how to do the layout for these videos, I try to make them short and sweet. That way you get the information and go have fun with them. One thing I did not go over is the champion points, just because I'm not the best at placing these. This helps a teammate if their health gets too low. This helps with recovery. This just helps with extra healing. And then everything else is kind of normal for any other build that uses Magicka. And then the red tree, you can see these two, you could switch either one. They're both so minor, it doesn't really matter. You do want some health though, so you can take some hits. I think it's the most important part about the red tree and the damage mitigation. Again, if y'all have any questions, comments, let me know down below, or join our Discord, or even reach out to me in game. We will be streaming. I'll have all this down in the bottom. And I appreciate you stopping by and checking this out. And hopefully we'll catch you in the next one.